Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to another lesson. Right now we are going to make the level menu work properly and lock the levels that we haven't reached so far. So how this is going to work? We are going to have an entry in the player prefs which stores our progress. For example, it's going to be an integer value, and if we successfully clear level 1, that integer is going to be set to 2. And we are also going to have all of these buttons checking. For example, the level 2 button will check whether that entry in player prefs is greater than 1, and if it is, this button will be enabled and the lock will be disabled. However, if we didn't clear level 1 yet, that entry is not going to be greater than 1, and we are going to have the level 2 lock enabled and the level 2 button disabled, like this. The same thing goes for the rest of the levels. You can have however many levels you want, just make sure that at the end of successfully clearing one level, you are increasing the player prefs entry. Open up the level 1 scene, and the script that we want to change is on the target, and that's the script that we created in the last lesson. So open it up in Visual Studio, and we can see right here that when we reach score value of 20, we change the scene to the level success scene. However, what we want to do before that is to create the first player prefs entry for the level progression. So type playerprefs.setInt, and we can call it whatever we want. I'll go ahead and call it level. And we want to set it equal to 2 after clearing the first level. Make sure you save this script. And then let's go back to the level menu scene. We will also need a few scripts right here. Of course, we can store them into the level 2 subfolder so that our project stays organized despite having so many objects and scripts. We are going to create a few new scripts. The first one will be the level 2 button script. It will be the same as the level 1 button script, however it will take us to the level 2 obviously. And we will also need a level 2 lock script. If we click on the level 2 button, maybe you have noticed before, maybe not, we have this little checkbox right here, right next to the level 2 button name, which can be used to enable or disable the object. And we can do that using a script as well. So that's what we'll be doing in these two scripts that we just created. And I'll show you how. So first let's open up the level 2 button script. This is going to handle what happens when the level 2 button is pressed. So it's going to be taking us to the next scene. That means we are going to have the onMouseDown method. Don't forget the semicolons like me. So we want the scene manager to load the scene called level 2 scene. We will not be needing the update method, however we will be using the start method. But before that, let's add a new variable. The variable is going to be public of type GameObject, and we can call it this object. In order to disable this GameObject completely, we would do something like this object dot active equals to false. But we need to first check whether the player has reached level 2 or not. Of course, we'll be doing that with an if statement, and we will check whether playerprefs.getInt. If I remember correctly, the int was called level, and we want to check whether it's greater than 1 on this particular button. If it is greater than 1, we want this button to stay enabled, so this object dot active is going to be true. However, if the level entry in the player prefs is not greater than 1, that means we still haven't reached this level and that this object should be disabled. So this object.active equals to false. Let's save this, go back to Unity, and we need to attach the script to the level 2 button. We also need to attach this object right here. It's kinda a weird way of doing it, but I found that this is the easiest method to do this. So let's attach the same level 2 button right here on itself. So by default we'll have this button disabled, and we'll also have the level 3 button disabled. However, the level 2 lock and level 3 lock are going to be enabled by default. And when we successfully clear level 1, the level 2 button should be enabled and the level 2 lock should be disabled. The lock also needs a script, which we created right here. Open it up, and this one will not be needing any scene management. We are just going to use the start method. And of course a variable. The variable again is going to be the same. And we are again going to be using an if statement. If the entry in player prefs is lower than 2, that means we didn't clear the level and that this game object should be active, since this is the lock one. However, if the player prefs entry is greater or equal to 2, we want the lock to stay disabled so that we can see the level 2 button. Make sure you save it and then go back to Unity, select the level 2 lock and attach the level 2 lock script to it. After that we need to attach the level 2 lock right here. Actually, before we start, let's select the button 2 and button 3 and enable them, since the script should be handling everything by itself. So everything should work correctly despite having all of these enabled right now. I mean, level 3 button or level 3 lock will not work because we didn't code anything for them, but level 2 should be fine. If we press play now, the level 2 will be locked and we will not be able to click on it because we didn't clear level 1 first. So let's try and clear level 1 to see if it will unlock. So level 2 is unlocked now, and if we press it, this should take us to the new scene. In the next lesson we will be building a different level with some new additions, and we are going to make the same thing to unlock level 3. So stay tuned and thank you for watching.